Sometimes when I don't have a lot of time to paint, I normally paint a quick, easy little flower. And today I feel like painting a little pansy. Now, I've painted many pansies and violas before, and here is another one. It's a beginner-friendly painting, and it's very fun if you don't know what to paint necessarily on a day, but you do want to paint. So I'm going to paint this quick viola, and it is super easy to paint. And I will post the link to the swatches for this Mijello Gold watercolor set that I'm currently using, that is right in front of me. And you can go and watch and have a look at all of the colors. I am not at all sponsored. I said that before, but I bought this set from Amazon and it is absolutely beautiful. I love the transparent colors. I love the beautiful vibrancy of those pinks and reds and the greens. It is so beautiful. Just buy yourself a tube and taste it. You will fall in love. Now I started painting the center of the flower, and I used well, this is lemon yellow, but you can use any yellow that you have. Oh, and if you're new to this channel and you enjoy this video, I would love for you to subscribe and press the bell button so that you're reminded every time I upload a new video. I'm not going to be fussy about any colors, so any yellow that you have will do. The paper is a cold press watercolor paper from Fabriano, and you can see it's got quite a lot of texture. And then I use a brush. This is a 3 or a 4. It has a nice tip because I want to get into all of these fine little sections on the viola. Or sorry, this is a pansy, not a viola, but I have painted a viola as well, and I will link it down below for you if you want to watch it. So that is the bottom part that I painted, and now I'm going to mix in some quinacridone rose in this purple mix that I have. So the purple mix is the quinacridone rose, and then I just took some French ultramarine and I mixed some of the French ultramarine in there. Now to make it slightly darker, I used a drop of Payne's Grey just to darken that purple slightly and to get to that beautiful color. And this is the Mission Mijello Gold watercolors that I am using. I absolutely love these colors, and I have some swatches on YouTube for you if you want to see all of the beautiful colors. And I said to my students they should try and get, even if it's one tube, just to test it. But try these watercolors, they are absolutely beautiful, and I am not sponsored at all by them. The colors are just amazing. I love the vibrancy, I love the transparency, and it's just gorgeous colors, especially the set that I bought. So go and have a look at the video. Now this is again just a drop more of the pink that I use. All the colors, every petal is going to be slightly different. Not exactly too different, but I'm going to use a bit more pink in certain sections. And then I just drop some of that darker purple mix in there. And while the paper is wet, I just drop in some more of that dark purple and go around the edges there. And this is wet on wet, and then a much darker mix from there, and then I put it out to the outer edges of the petal, just like that. So make sure your brush have a nice tip if you paint this with me. Again, here, clean water. Now you will notice that I clean my water quite often because I want to make sure that the water stays clean and I do not want any muddy colors. That's the one rule, is to make sure that you have clean water all the time. On this side, I use that quinacridone rose mix again. So you can use any mix, even alizarin crimson will be beautiful. And make sure that you wipe these drops off that sometimes accumulate on your brush. And then I just pull some of that color into the center. Again, I'm going out. I do have the outline with my pencil markings. It's quite dark because I am painting a video, so it is quite far and I want everyone to see my line drawing. So it is quite dark, but you can rub it out while you paint and make sure that you can't see it, especially if your petals are very translucent or transparent like mine is at the moment. And then I just take some water and I soften any little hard lines that I see. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to move it from the left to the right, but take some of the mixtures that I've already painted on over that petal that I'm painting right now. I want that one to be a little bit lighter for now, and I might go back later and darken it, but for now, I'm just going to let that color flow into that petal. At the same time, I'm keeping an eye on this yellow and on the purple. I do not want the yellow to flow all over that purple mix. I also keep an eye on any water blooms that's forming. So the minute I see that is happening, I just take my brush and I lift it out or move it around on the paper to soften those little blooms, because I do not necessarily want the bloom on my petal, my flower, or any of the petals right now. And then I just move some of the darker mixture in the center there, because I do want that center to stand out, just like that. And you'll see I push my brush down and I move the excess pigment to the center. At the same time, I take a tissue paper and I'm just lifting out some of that excess pigment in the center, because I want to create that effect that you can see on a pansy. Now I'm just taking my tissue paper, scrub on the paper, make sure that the paper that you use, you can scrub on it, and then remove those little marking or whatever mixture that went into your petals right there with some tissue paper. I'm also lifting out the excess pigment that is flowing into that lighter petal that I don't want to necessarily have dark right now. And I'm waiting for that paint that I removed earlier to dry before I go back and add some more detail in there. You will see it will all come together later, but this is the loose pansy that I'm painting. So I take some of the darker mix that I have on my palette and I just go around that section there to create a little, I would say, center of the pansy. And you need a nice tip with a brush. With a nice tip, any small brush will do. And I'm just suggesting these little markings. I'm not going to paint them in completely, so it's not, I wouldn't say it is a photorealistic painting, but it's just for fun and it's a loose watercolor painting. So I'm just suggesting those little markings that I can see on a pansy. Now I use a much thicker mix. Now the petal is completely dry before I do this, so it doesn't flow everywhere. And then I just paint in those little lines that you can always see. And then I rinse my brush and I just soften those little lines on the side. I don't want to soften the lines on the bottom petal, but I do want to soften these. I don't want them to be too dark. So I just move it with some clean water on my brush and soften it. Now I'm going to go on this side. This is still a bit wet, but it is not too wet, so it will flow a little bit, but not too much. And then on this side too. So this is the finished painting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to subscribe and to press the bell button so you can be reminded every time I upload a new video. I also painted the other one, which I will share very soon. Have a lovely day and I will see you soon with another video.